Welcome to Johnson-Haygood Stadium, where the Oceanside Land Sharks, the most feared sharks in the Lowcountry, are ready to take on Johnson-Haygood Stadium, where the Oceanside Land Sharks, the most feared sharks in the Lowcountry, are ready to take on Johnson-Haygood Stadium, where the Oceanside Land Sharks, the most feared sharks in the Lowcountry, are ready. Yeah, that's all right. That was on me. All right, we're good now.
Turn yours up a little bit.
All right. Yeah, so I'm going to turn your volume up a little bit. Is that better? Brian, you good?
Can I hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, yeah.
Can
Robbie, you look great.
Oh
my gosh, your eyes
good.
are on fire.
Yeah, we're going to have our hands full here tonight. We're going to have to be very entertaining because probably the football game is not going to be. The Oceanside Land Sharks, of course, the reigning champions of Region 8-3A, and North Charleston has resided in the basement. And this year they've actually won a couple of games, but they lost last week to Hanahan by a big score, 63-0.
Well, that's why it's a game that needs to be played on the field. And, we got to come out and show some stuff we didn't show last week. I think deep down inside, I don't think we really want to show something from last week. We're not going to show Hanahan anything we got coming up, but, it's a big game. I expect we got to put some scores on the board. It's got to be 45 points. To me, it should be 70, but all right. Well, maybe we didn't show anything last week. We'll see how that goes.
Swish, what are your thoughts as we head into this, and then we'll see if we can get a hold of Richie Altman, get his thoughts.
Yes, sir. Well, I can tell you this. It's easy to look past the North Charleston team based on past history, fellas. They've won 2 games this year, though. They beat Academic Magnet, and they beat Burke. But they also lost to James Island, like you said, a whale of a loss last Friday night. It's a program that is struggling with some numbers, and I can tell you this Wednesday night when our JV team went up to play North Charleston at CCSD District 4 field. Beautiful facility, by the way, fellas.
Yeah, it is.
$28 million.
Beautiful.
We won 24-0, but I tell you, it was a really depleted team. They only had 16 kids dressing, and I tell you what, I feel for that program. The kids worked their tails off. That went both ways. The coaches are trying. The kids are trying. They're just short on numbers. And I tell you what, I hope this is a good contest, and I hope we stay classy tonight, BP.
I do. I think that too. But coming from where I came from in Texas, I mean, it's a football game. So you go out there and you got 2 quarters, put your starters in there, run the score up. Or maybe it's a tight game, whatever.
Well,
but you should go on the field and give your 100%.
Hey, you're gonna play.
And if you get up high in the score, then you pull them out, put your backups in.
Well, how about this? These kids that are the backups, the number 2s and 3s, they haven't played a lot this year, right?
Right.
So
that's
they're
my
not,
point.
They're not going to lay down, right? They're going to go in there
and they'll go in there and
fight.
score some more points too.
Exactly. Yeah. And so backup quarterbacks, running backs, linemen, DBs.
But that's how you should
receivers.
play the game. You should always play the game that way. You don't want to ever run the score up. But if you backups run the score up, then that's on that. But you can't back off and play. If you play 50%, you're going to get hurt.
Well,
so you got to go out there and play your game.
I agree, and I love playing to win, but let's just stay classy tonight.
Oh, yeah, you always stay classy.
Scotty,
but you can whoop somebody up, too, and play classy.
So looks like our captains are ready to walk out onto the field, but there are no opposing captains. There are 4 tonight.
Number 4.
Oh, yeah. Well, there are 4, and one of them is number 4. Of course, that's my boy.
Yes.
Dana Brunson. He's the one not wearing a uniform. But,
team leader, by the way.
But some black shorts, and he's excited to get a chance to walk on to the field.
With no crutches.
With no crutches.
That's awesome.
His physical therapy's going great. He's ahead of schedule, and we're just really proud of him. He's had a great attitude, and he's going to maybe go take a college visit to a school up in Tennessee.
As he should.
Later this month.
I don't mean to cut you off, Robert, but I went up to the school to help the athletic director do something with the goals today on Monday and had some tools and stuff. We didn't have anything, but I saw your son and Carson Arnold walking right down the hallway, and I was like, nothing made me happier to see your son and Carson Arnold stand next together.
Yeah,
because
well.
your son's gifted and talented enough to go play the next level.
Well, apparently they did a presentation in their business class recently.
Nice.
Where they had to formulate a fictitious company, and it was called something like Carson's Big Trucks or something like that. And Carson was the celebrity spokesperson, and
Nice.
I guess Dana was the I don't know what his role was.
The businessman attorney
Yeah, there
behind
you
the
go.
scenes.
Probably the attorney. Yeah, that's a good call, Swish.
Hey, I tell you what I see right there is number 4 looks every bit as daggone large as number 9
Yeah.
without the pads on.
Yep.
Yeah,
Man,
looks
that
like-
kid has gotten big, Robert.
Yeah, he's grown. I told him that today. Looks like he's not going to be allowed to walk onto the field, though. I suppose you have to be dressed out in order to do that, so he'll be an honorary captain on the sideline. Let's take a look and see who the North Charleston Cougars have out there as their captains. Ed is going to require some binoculars at 7, 71, 10, and 63, I think.
Let me help you out there.
So 7 is Samuel Riddy Jr. He's a wide receiver and a defensive back.
Number
and
10?
number 10 is Karen Simmons.
63.
63, as I look at their roster, is Terrell Backman Carter.
And the final captain is 71.
71 is the last captain, and he is Raekwon Butler. And as we identify their captains and we're watching the referees flip the coins down there, we've got Richie Altman on the line with us. Richie, how you doing tonight?
Hey guys, great night for some Friday night lights. Final home game for the regular season. Recognize some seniors, pick up a win, and keep it moving.
Well, what are your thoughts as we enter this game? Is there any chance we'll take North Charleston too lightly?
No, I think these guys are very focused. So what we've kind of established here is that we're winning the week, right? So after last week, we enjoyed it for 24 hours. Then we got back to 0-0. So tonight, it's a new night. We're 0-0. We win tonight. We'll enjoy it tonight and then start tomorrow morning, focus on next week. But tonight, these guys know what's at hand. A lot of these guys are trying to, of course, take it to the next level. So tonight gives them that opportunity.
I just need Brian was in my way.
All right, so Richie, another question I have for you. If we do get a big lead like we did last year, and of course Hanahan beat them 63-0 last week, do you think Coach Call is going to play some of the backups and give them some playing time tonight?
Yeah, I feel good about that. I mean, it's a question: can we jump on it early? Can we put the points on the board early? And are we making mental mistakes? I mean, yeah, we want to put the points on the board, but we also want to stop making mental mistakes as we head deeper into the region and head closer to playoffs. So as long as we're capitalizing with the mistakes and capitalizing on the scoreboard, we should be okay.
Okay, Richie, thanks for joining us. We'll tune you in again at halftime if that works for you, and get your
Yes, sir.
thoughts then. Thanks,
You got
sir.
it, guys. Let's go.
All right.
Robert, take a look down at the shark mouth coming out. We've got all of our sharks coming out, and look who we got lining them up, all the senior mamas and some of the other mamas, shark mamas out there. Love it.
The senior mamas are awesome. The backbone of this program in many ways. These boys wouldn't have any pregame meals if it weren't for them.
I thought that was Rest Moms doing the handover, the flips and stuff, that it wasn't her.
So we're getting real close to game time here. Of course, we were talking to Richie when they were flipping the coin, and
We were kicking.
go ahead and let me know.
Yep, it looks like whether we won the toss or deferred it, we are kicking off tonight, which is a typical Oceanside Land Shark
Defense, baby.
MO.
That's what I like.
Like I've always said, Coach Call loves building that momentum going into halftime and then make some adjustments in the locker room. Then we come out with the ball in the second half and establish more of a dominance. So let's look for number 18, who's up for player of the area, region, week
Yeah.
here in the Low Country. Spencer McKinley to knock one into the blue end zone for a touchback.
And as Swish mentioned earlier, here comes North Charleston, and you can see they don't have a lot of players. So these guys are going to be going both ways, offense and defense. At least they're going to get a lot of playing time.
Your graphics, by the way, are awesome.
BP says Scott
graphics.
Kraftchick's graphics are awesome. I
They're
don't know. We had a really cool new introduction we did before our broadcast tonight. I don't know if it actually worked.
I was sitting down at the fence and I saw the little Oceanside
Yeah.
Sports Network sliding around up there on that big screen. I was like, yeah, I like it.
OCA Network.
Well, I'll tell you,
I like it.
think about what we've done the last couple of weeks. Thanks to Scott and a lot of good collaboration among the four of us here. But we've had the Phone a Friend, which we just heard with Richie Altman and Jason Ashley last week. We've got the Crystal Cam, which is Scott's wife, Crystal Craft Chick, that is filming like a maniac from the stands and then pipes it up here for a little replay. We've got the inset of the clock and the score. And if I'm not mistaken, Robert, we're trying to get a little professional here, brother.
I mean, it's almost like teamwork up here. That's kind of crazy.
We try to get better every week. That's our goal. And like you said, we're going to have Jason Ashley probably at halftime, maybe the end of the first quarter. He's going to give us a report on what things look like down in the trenches where those offensive and defensive linemen are sticking their hands in the dirt and butting heads with the Cougars.
I'll tell you what, I know Coach Call's family, extended family, is tuning in tonight, so I'd like to say hello to them. And let's make old Coach Call proud with a big W tonight and a good professional broadcast. What do you say, fellas?
We'll do our best. I got to ask Brian, is that a Diet Pepsi you got in your hand there or something else?
No, it's a Diet Pepsi.
Okay.
It's actually regular Pepsi. It's a blue can.
Spencer McKinley.
Oh,
I think North.
Oh, we got it.
Looks like we got it. It bounced around a lot in there. It looked like Spencer was trying to grab it himself.
That
and
was not in our playbook. We did not expect that one. But
Carson Arnold with the recovery there. I tell you what, well, that was a surprise. I would have guessed that one. But I tell you what, nice element of surprise. Spencer dribbled that one. Carson was right on top of it. Looked like it pinballed around a little bit, but number 9 came up with it.
There we go. And now our offense is going to unexpectedly take the field. A lot of our guys wearing pink for Cancer Awareness Month in October. A little pink trim on the uniforms. We're going to start out with a tight end and 3. No, we're going with 4 wide receivers. Colby Shirey moves Vaughn Blue over for some protection on his right side, then fakes it to Vaughn, wants to go deep. Colby's going for all of the marbles. But Cole Strickler, the big, tall wide receiver, unable to bring that in.
I tell you what, great ball, great placement. Man, but we had
yeah, he was wide open.
we had Zay streaking down the field wide open.
That was a spot to throw to, but that's all right. He didn't see it.
Cole had to break stride a little bit, too. The ball hung up in the air a little longer than maybe you would want. And so it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10. The line of scrimmage is on the 49-yard line of North Charleston. We got a wing back in there now, and he goes in motion right to left. Colby gives it to Vaughn. He's going around the right side, has some good blocking. Vaughn Blue, first down. 30, there's a flag. Vaughn's going to score a touchdown, but they're going to bring it back in all likelihood. I didn't see the yellow handkerchief land, but I saw it flying through the air.
Yeah, Vaughn didn't even get touched going on the outside. It was nice to see him get a good run in.
Yeah, man, you could just see those offensive linemen pulling out, and they were like a freight train rolling down the tracks. And let's see what kind of signal we're going to get here from the referee as they bring the ball back. And, of course, it is holding. I'm looking at the white hat right now. And there's the signal. So we're going to bring it back, and looks like the line of scrimmage is going to be around the 41-yard line. We're back in our territory. We started this drive on their 49. So now we've got a 2nd down and around 18 or 20 yards to go for a first. 11:38 on the clock, first quarter. Sharks got the ball on an onside kick to open the game. And now Colby takes it, again hands it to Vaughn, this time around the right side. Again, good blocking for Vaughn Blue, who gets down to about the 42-yard line. Not enough for a first.
I tell you what, Robert, let's talk a little bit about penalties. Last week at BE, we had 17 penalties to BE's 3. Now, I'm not saying anything and indicting the referees. It might be more of an indictment on our play that needs to be a little tightened up, a little bit more disciplined. But they were not only plenty in amount, but they were also untimely for us.
Yeah, we've had that problem in a couple of our games this year, the penalty bug.
First down.
Another handoff to Vaughn Blue. Big hole on the left side. Now Vaughn's just dancing through yellow jerseys down to the 20-yard line.
First down.
And there's our first Brian Powell patented first down of the game. And Brian, you know, I don't know, Chris, if you're going to like to hear this, but Brian has retained me as counsel, bringing a patent infringement action on you guys for last night.
It wouldn't be the first because I could, anyways.
The Wednesday
that's
night
a different
game.
story.
Hey, never to throw a buddy under the bus, but that might be directed to old Scotty Kraft joke.
So Colby now in the pistol, gives it to Vaughn again. Vaughn doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage, though. He's tackled in there, and Swish, let me know if you can read that number. I can't.
Number 26.
All right, 26 on the tackle is Camarton Kemp Camarion Smith.
Big old boy, too.
Under 11 now in the first quarter. Going to still go with that wing back. Number 11 for the Sharks.
Dylan Baker.
Dylan Baker. And I don't have a roster for our team. I don't know if you got one. Anyway, Colby throws it over to the right side, wide receiver, quick little pass. But they closed in on him pretty good. I think that's Rico Harrell on the catch.
Good defensive coverage.
And I'm just going to warn everybody right now, I'm having a real hard time reading any of these numbers between my eye
Well,
problems.
it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to see North Charleston's jersey numbers.
Yeah, these jerseys are not ideal for people who are trying to read the numbers on the fly.
I'll be your C&I dog tonight, Robert.
That's
How about
good. That's good. You're a dog all the time. Colby takes it on a 3rd and 13. He slips and falls back up. Has a man wide open.
Perfect.
Colby showing some
Incomplete.
athleticism there to get back on his feet and throw that one, but it was not completed. The receiver couldn't quite get to it. It was a little bit low, and, of course, it was a rushed throw.
And he was wide open there for a second, just a little hesitant there, and then he tried to rush it and threw it into the ground.
Looks like the Sharks are going to go for this one on 4th down and 13. I wouldn't even be surprised if they ran it. 4 wide receivers now, no tight end. Colby in there in the shotgun. Gone. Vaughn Blue to his left. Not going to hand it to Vaughn. Throwing it downfield. Intercepted. A North Charleston player has it across the 20 to the 30, up to the 40. He's going to get across midfield. Show him he's an athlete all the way down to our 45-yard line. Number 22 on that interception for the Cougars. Sidney R.J. Spann. And Sidney was bobbing and weaving and dancing for all he was worth. So the Sharks start this game with a surprise, an onside kick, which we recovered. Carson Arnold picked it up, and our offense had it 1st and 10 on North Charleston's 49-yard line. We had a few nice running plays in there, but Colby unable to connect on any of those passes of any length. I think he completed one to a wide receiver, a little short, quick thing in the flat that didn't go anywhere. And then he, of course, threw that interception, which you always don't want to see. So North Charleston in business now, their quarterback in the pistol formation. Bad snap. We're trying to scoop and score.
Yeah, that's first down.
Doesn't matter, we got it. So North Charleston returns the favor.
Wow.
Roan Sharver.
Roan Sharver,
Roan
number
Sharver.
30.
He did that all on his own.
Well, you know what is interesting? Typically, we've got a 4-man front, but this time we had a 3-man defensive front. It was Big James DeVoe. It was Ben Britton in the middle and Timmy Castine. And then you saw us walk our 3 linebackers up, and I think they kind of
Panicked.
that was a nice way to say it.
So now we got a different quarterback, Edward Reidenbach, to
like
back
it.
up after an interception from Colby. Colby didn't look so sharp on that first one. We're going to do a little option.
good play.
Nice pitch back.
See ya.
Is that Vaughn on the run? He's
He
going to get
shoulda kept
real
running.
close to the first down.
No, that's a first down, but he should have kept running. He had the outside lane. You take that. Keep going to the goal.
Crosses the 30-yard line. That is Vaughn, right?
That was Vaughn.
I mean, really, I'm having such a hard time seeing. I can't even tell you if that's Vaughn.
The running plays are opening up so easy here. I just keep running the ball, get score down, get going, get your drives going, then start flinging a little bit.
Yeah, get a little BPM with you. Get a little bit of rhythm and get comfortable here.
Yeah.
So Edward takes the snap,
wide
gives
open.
it to
Look at
Vaughn,
that.
big
Untouched.
hole, nice blocking downfield. Vaughn Blue 15-10, still dancing, still got a couple blockers, and he's trying to carry some Cougars into the end zone.
That's a good run right there.
Touchdown. Doesn't quite get in for the score, but Vaughn took it down to about the 1, maybe half-yard line. I wish I was pulling up my camera for some instant replay, but I didn't have it on in time for that one. Maybe we'll get a crystal cam from Crystal Craft Chick down in the stands.
We keep running the ball like this, you're going to wear them out. They got no backups, unfortunately.
Sharks wanting to put some points on the board now after their first drive ended in an unfortunate interception. Handoff right up the middle. Vaughn Blue, touchdown, Sharks.
Touchdown.
Pretty academic, fellas.
Yeah. Keep it simple.
So Edward, on his first real opportunity of the season that I can remember, just takes us right on into the end zone, and we're going to have a replay now. It looks like a Vaughn's run.
That was a really cool thing seeing our starting quarterback out there giving everybody high fives after he got pulled.
It looks like he's getting some really good blocking. I'm trying to see who those two guys are. I think Cole Strickler may be one of them. As the extra point attempt is up and good, Spencer puts that one through. The Sharks now lead it 7-0 with about 8.5 to go in the first quarter. And we did get that from the Crystal Cam, so glad to have Crystal Kravchik down in the stands.
Good job, Crystal.
Sending us her videos. We're going to try and get some from up here as well. So the Cougars had a little bit of excitement with an interception, which they returned about 50 yards, a little over 50 actually. But then on their very first play from scrimmage, they fumbled and we picked it up. And then Edward Reidenbach comes in and just takes us right downfield, mostly on the back of Vaughn Blue, number 24. In fact, Vaughn may have run every single play of that drive.
3 straight plays into the end zone. Actually 4. So,
and you can really see the strength of our offensive line as you watch these plays. I can't wait to hear what Jason Ashley has to say about those guys in the trenches. But every play when we're running it, they're just pushing the yellow jerseys backwards. So Spencer has the ball set. He's wearing some high pink socks today. Let's see if he can put this one into the end zone or out of it. And he does. So North Charleston's going to start with it on their own 20-yard line. And our defense will play only its second play thus far in the ball game against North Charleston. North Charleston came out in the pistol formation last time. They had 4 wideouts. It looks like they're going to try and spread the field on the Sharks.
let's keep an eye on that 3-man front. If we stay with that, walk our linebackers, any of them up or not. And I would fully anticipate an immense amount of pressure on that backfield of North Charleston here.
So North Charleston's going to go with 3 wideouts left, 1 to the right, and test our defense again. Another high snap, but this pass is completed, and the receiver has a first down all the way up to about the 38-yard line.
I don't know who number 7 is. That's the tallest athlete on their team. That ball is way up there. He went up there and got it.
That's Samuel Riddy Jr. on that reception.
It's got to be 6'3", 6'4".
And it was a nice, quick pass from the quarterback. See if you can tell me what the quarterback's number is. It's one of 2 guys. It's number 2, so that's Ricardo Bailey. We don't have on their roster what year any of these guys are, whether they're seniors or whatever. So we don't have that information for you. But we do have whistles blowing before they're able to get this play off, and it's a timeout. Cougars. So we were talking about our defensive line, guys. No, there's a penalty. I guess it was a delay of game. Yep, there we go. At least Steve Rudnicki, the PA announcer, says it was a delay of game, and Steve's usually right on top of things, more so than we 3 guys are. So BP is looking at me like, speak for yourself, big dog. Well, I guess we had both, a timeout and a penalty. No, there is no penalty. What in the heck is going
confusing.
on?
That's the referee's fault, not ours.
So, you're right. It is. We're not taking that. We're not going to own that
It's
one.
not on us.
Anyway, I was about to talk about the defensive line and Justin O'Ree, our senior number 45, who's been an anchor of that line at nose guard all season. Looks like his season may be done. He's got a knee injury. I think it's a torn meniscus.
You are correct.
I had a torn meniscus about 5 years ago, and it took me about 6 months to get back in.
That's a big hit to lose him. That's for sure.
It is, but it's given Ben a chance. Number 10, Britton, the sophomore. He's been sort of bouncing back and forth from the offensive line and the defensive line. He's not your prototypical nose tackle, a little undersized, I would say, for that position. But we're going to keep Timmy Castine on the right and James DeVoe. Timmy's on the left and James on the right. We're blitzing. Man, we hit that running back. Ball's flying through. We picked it up, but they say the whistle blew. And North Charleston's going to lose about 5.
I think all 3 of our linebackers hit him at the same time.
Deshaun Williams, the running back there, had nowhere to go. There were 4 blue jerseys in there before he could do anything.
They're going to have to go to a quick game, throwing the ball, quick screens, quick bubbles, because there's no way they're going to survive that defensive pressure.
So now they're looking at second down. Let's call it 14 yards with the clock hitting the 7-minute mark during this play. Pistol formation again for the Cougars. 3 wideouts on the right this time, 1 to the left. There's movement, 2 guys
Ball
moving. Yeah, so that's going to be a 5-yard penalty on North Charleston, and they're not looking real crisp early here in this game as we kind of expected.
If I had all those guys coming to me that fast right before I snapped it, I think I might move too.
Yeah, I can't blame them for being a little jumpy.
We'd take one hit from Timmy or Red or Carson and be in the ER at MUSC right now.
That's worse than the corona.
I'd be lucky just to have a torn meniscus. So they're going to throw this one downfield. Receivers there.
I'm telling you, that kid can play.
He can. Number
7.
Number 7 covered by Rico
That was a
Harrell.
one-handed catch.
Samuel Riddy Jr. trying to be a little Odell Beckham Jr.-ish.
Wow.
Makes that catch. And now North Charleston has it 3rd and 2. And BP, I'll tell you the truth, I didn't think he caught it. I just realized when they moved.
He landed on his back, and he still had the ball up in the air with one hand on it.
Wow, that was a great catch, man. I really didn't think he had it. So the center comes out, perches over the football.
Well, that's where I'd be going every time, right there, 7.
North Charleston going to try and keep this drive alive with a 3rd and short. Man, we're just bringing the house every play. And this time it's a quick pass to the wide receiver, and he got a first down all the way up to the 45-yard line, and North Charleston keeps the drive alive.
Like I said, that quick game is the only thing that's going to keep these guys alive tonight.
I'll tell you, though, if that receiver had been able to get past one guy.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yep, he had a lot of green between him and the end zone because we brought all the linebackers, the safety, all the defensive backs, everybody was coming in blitzing. And now we're going to pass the 6-minute mark. Still in the first quarter, Oceanside leading this game 7-0, heavily favored over the North Charleston Cougars. Cougars still in the pistol. The quarterback is going to keep it around the right side, but he's going to go down for a loss of about 7 or 8 yards.
Carson Arnold.
Big number 9, Captain Carson Arnold.
Carson looked fast in that play. He chased that quarterback back down from behind.
He posted his midseason highlights on Twitter, and there's something to see. He's having a really good year.
BP, you know where he's from originally, right?
Yeah, I believe that's the same state you're from. It's a basketball state. But he's tall enough to play basketball.
He's a good old Hoosier.
Yes, he is.
He's a Hoosier.
All left from Indiana.
North Charleston now facing a second down and let's say 17 yards to go, maybe 16. Quarterback gonna throw it quickly out of bounds as he got hit hard.
Timmy hit him.
Timmy
Castine is going to be making a living in that backfield tonight in all likelihood.
I tell you what, man, every time Timmy just puts some wood to one of those the guys knocks him down, he's the first guy there to pull him right back up.
Always the first one to pick him up. If I got hit, I don't want anybody picking me up. I'm I'm going to get up on my own. But Timmy does put his hand out. I love it.
And the Shark music is playing as North Charleston is now facing a 3rd down and long after that incomplete pass. Again, our guys are darting up to the line of scrimmage as if they're going to blitz them again. Oh, and nothing doing here for North Charleston.
That was all Timmy.
Timmy Castine again with a tackle. And boy, we're talking about Carson Arnold having a good season, but Timmy, he's, I think, already at this point in his career, the best defensive lineman in the history of Oceanside.
I agree with that. He had a good teacher, his brother.
His brother's not going to be happy to hear that.
No, his brother won't be happy to hear that, but sorry, man. Call him like we see him. And North Charleston's going to punt this. Of course, I wouldn't want to make either one of those guys mad with me. Miles Castine, of course, Timmy's brother, was a great defensive lineman here. Graduated 2 years ago. And the punt is off. We don't rush him too hard. It's a short one. Gets into Shark territory. Rico Harrell going to try and run one back. He gets past one guy, then pulls loose from another.
Baby. He's gone.
Then just runs by a third guy. And now Rico Harrell's going to race down the sidelines for another Oceanside Land Shark touchdown.
That was all on Rico. He had a couple good blocks in there too, though. Good blocks. No blocking the back. There was a couple close ones there.
You guys know where the term land sharks comes from? Saturday Night Live. There was a skit featuring a land shark.
Here we go,
He'd come knock
Swish.
on the door and he'd say, Candygram. And every time Gilda Ratner would fall for it and the shark would come in and eat her up.
That was Eddie Murphy, wasn't it?
I think Eddie was on there and back in those days.
What in the world just happened
That was a weird-looking kick. Spencer, though, put it up.
No good.
No good.
And they're going to say it was no good. So we had a misfire on that play.
Well, North Charleston had guys running onto the field while the ball was being snapped, and I don't know if they were across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly didn't have enough players on the field. And I think out of the corner of Spencer's eye, caught him, and he kind of hesitated, and then started to kick, and still put a good foot on it, but a little wide left.
So Rico Harrell returned about a 60-yard touchdown on that punt. It was a fairly short punt for North Charleston, and a couple of the yellow jerseys had a chance to get Rico, but he just eluded two tacklers who were right there on him and then just raced down the sideline.
Several things I liked about that, guys. Rico could have just watched it roll to a stop. It took a kind bounce up, and then he darted to the left, put the brakes on, little zoop, 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 and he was gone.
Yeah, he ran a lot more than 60 yards, by the way, because he ran about 50 across the field before he turned it upfield. So Spencer's going to put another one in the end zone, and North Charleston probably satisfied with that, frankly.
I think Spencer might be a little ticked off on that missed PAT because he put that one beyond the L of the Bulldogs. That's one of the longest smash kicks I've seen him have into this end zone.
Scott, I don't know if we got a candygram, not a candygram.
I mean, it sounds fun.
A crystal cam.
It was down
Yeah, she wasn't watching that time, and I didn't have mine on either, so we don't have a replay of that touchdown. But I expect there are going to be plenty of highlights over the course of this game. We're down to 3:49, first quarter. North Charleston picked up a first down on their last drive. Their first drive ended with a fumble on the first play. Now they're back on the field, and their quarterback, there's going to be movement from their offensive line. I think that's a penalty on the Cougars. It is.
If Carson Arnold runs up and gets in my face, I'm probably going to back up as well, too.
Just out of self-defense.
So Oceanside, go ahead, sorry.
I was just going back to that candygram. My birthday's coming up soon. I wouldn't mind a good present, Robert.
Candygram. So, Ricardo Bailey, number 2, the quarterback, takes a high snap, has a man wide
pick.
open.
That's a pick. That's a pick. He caught that.
Rico.
That's amazing. How in the world did Rico?
He tipped it and still came back down on it, got his elbows underneath the grass.
Well, I'm going to tell you it's a good thing because the Charleston wide receiver, nobody was within 10 yards of him. He was going to go all the way for a TD if he had caught that ball. No question. So the Sharks are going to have it now going back towards the end zone of the North Charleston Cougars. I'll get my act together here now and see if we can get some instant replay action going.
They called, North Charleston called that.
Scott tells us the Cougars called another timeout. That'll be their second of the game. And we're coming over to the sidelines. We're wearing our blue jerseys and white pants and black hats today. Going left to right this quarter, North Charleston in the gray pants and yellow jerseys and black hats.
Tell you the Shark Mamas picked out the combo tonight. There was a ladies' clinic back in the summer, and Coach Call allowed them to pick out the jersey combo. There was a little bit of a fashion show that day. So kudos to the Shark Mamas for picking that out. I tell you, it's a good look, I think.
And we haven't even mentioned the fact that this is homecoming tonight.
That is
the final home game of the season.
That's false.
That's false.
It's false.
Well, maybe that's why we haven't mentioned it.
It was supposed to be homecoming. It's been moved into December later on this year.
Really?
In the playoffs?
I don't know. I think it's going to be lined up with a basketball game this year. So
okay, well that's interesting. So who's the quarterback out there? Is it Colby or Edwards?
Colby.
Colby's back in.
Colby's back in. He draws them off sides. Going to pick up 5 free yards to start this drive. So we'll have a 1st and 5 with the ball line of scrimmage on the 20-yard line. And I think North Charleston's going to make us feel a lot better about our penalties tonight. So far, they're having more than their fair share. Colby in there with 3 wideouts and an H-back. Vaughn Blue to his right. Colby's going to throw it. Has a man, completed it down to about the 5-yard line, and another land shark.
First down.
Jace Krafchick on the catch there. And now we have a 1st and goal with the line of scrimmage on the 6-yard line. I did get that one, Scott, by the way. If we have a chance, we can do that replay in a minute. But now let's see if we can put some points on the board as Colby hands it off to Vaughn. Vaughn dodges one guy, cuts it back to the middle, picked up a couple of yards. It's going to make it 2nd down and goal now, just inside the 5-yard line. Is that Jace with those high pink socks out there on the right side?
No,
That's Billy White shoes.
Billy Johnson is out there now. And it's another handoff to Vaughn. Touchdown, Land Sharks. And I was making fashion statements instead of filming on that one. But I do have Jace's pass if you want to try and do this. As we look at the extra point and see if we can get it off this time. Spencer McKinley takes his steps and ready to boot this one up. He missed the last one. That's up and in, and the Sharks are going to have a 20-0 lead here with about 2.5 minutes to go as we pull up the replay of Jace's catch. And as you can see, it was a slant pattern, kind of a deep slant. And Jace caught it down inside the 5-yard line. And using my iPad just doesn't work so great for these replays. The iPads now have a USB-C connection instead of the Lightning connection. I guess that's probably more information than anybody wants to know, but it's not working out very well.
You've been hanging out with Krafchick too long.
You know what? It's just occurred to me. I have another iPad with a with a lightning connection.
Well, while you guys are fixing
Yeah,
that,
y'all keep talking about that. I'm looking at the scoreboard. I'm like, my goal tonight was if we put up 45 points in the first half, I am super charged up, excited. We got 20. I kind of wanted to see some scoring tonight. That's good. We're seeing that.
We are, and we've seen a couple different quarterbacks play here tonight.
I like it.
And Spencer looking to make sure he's got 11 guys on the field, and he puts it up and into the end zone.
He's so good at that. Wouldn't he? Sometimes it'd be kind of nice to see him catch it and run it back. We get spoiled.
We do.
You know?
We do.
He's so gifted. It's great. But I like to see every once in a while just get a hit in there. But
He's got a little wind to his back right now, if you look at the American flag over there. But
he's so
not a
good,
lot.
though. I mean, he can kick it in the end zone. If you got a headwind with him, he can still put it in the end zone. He's good.
North Charleston coming up to the line of scrimmage now. Quarterback in the pistol, fakes a handoff, quick pass to a wide receiver over on the right flat, and he's hit hard right away by our defender over there. Who's that? Number 5, Zay Offord. That's the first time we called Zay's name today, other than I guess he was wide open on a pass earlier. Wasn't thrown to him. So now North Charleston. Looks like there must have been an incomplete pass. So it's going to be 2nd and 10, 2.5 minutes. We're still in the first quarter here at Johnson Haygood Stadium in this Region 8-3A matchup between North Charleston and Oceanside. And it's a run and play, good for a couple.
Steven Seegers on the tackle along with Carson Arnold.
And I'm glad for you to call out the people making these plays, Swish, with those binoculars you got.
It helps.
So the Shark music plays on a 3rd down and about 7 yards to go for North Charleston. They're stacking wide receivers on both sides, pistol formation. Fumble
Red
snap.
just pounded him.
Looks like we're going to have the fumble there.
Pretty.
Nope, it looks like the Cougars recovered it, but it's still they're going to have to punt it from right around their own goal line. Our whole defense was in the backfield there by the time the quarterback got the ball, it seemed like.
By the time he got the ball, he was hit.
Like Ben Britton came out of his shoe there. He was flying so fast.
And we're going to have 2 deep on the punt return. Last game we went with just Rico. As the North Charleston punter stands on the 5-yard line. What's his number, Swish?
It looks like we're
7.
We're sending the house.
Big receiver.
Samuel Riddy Jr. punts it.
Take it, go.
That's like Zay, I
See
think,
ya.
on the left side. Crosses the 20 and down to the 15 and to the 11. That was Zay, right?
It was a.
We got a flag down there.
So Scott tells us there was a block in the back around the 40-yard line. So that's going to nullify. Nice return by Zay Offord.
You think after a couple of blocks in the backs, our special teams kind of work on that just a little bit, maybe run them a little bit? We got to fix that.
I got to tell
you
you,
can't have that every game.
I'm
It
with
was
you.
good or call or bad call.
I'm
But
with you, but in college and in the pros, it seems like every time there's a kickoff or a punt, there's always an illegal block or block in the back or something. So,
it's hard not to do, but
man,
you got to pull back.
And our offense is back out there on the field. We'll have a 1st and 10 from the 50 now instead of from the 12, which is where we were. That's a big penalty when you consider all that. Is that number 22 out there in the H-back position? It looks like it.
that is.
As Colby takes it, throws it, it's batted at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete pass. He rolled out to his right. We've really developed more of a passing game where Colby takes advantage of his speed by rolling out of that pocket. And there he also poses a threat of being able to just tuck it and run as well. 45 seconds left to go, first quarter, second down and 10, Land Sharks. We got a bunch left formation. Cole Strickler all alone over here on the right side. Is that Vaughn still in there?
Yep.
Running back, it is. Jace goes in motion, or that was Billy. Hand off to Vaughn. Vaughn Blue picks up about 8 yards. So we're going to have a third down and manageable here.
I'd run it and run it again.
Well, he didn't get quite as far as I thought he got, so it's going to be third down and about 3.5 for a first. It looks like the first quarter could come to an end. It's 20 seconds left as Colby in the pistol looks over to the sidelines. I think he'll get this play off. He's going to go with 2 wideouts right, 1 to the left. Man goes into motion. And Colby hands it off to Vaughn, who's following a big offensive lineman on that right side, and Vaughn Blue picks up a first down. Down to the 30-yard line.
That was Fenn Johnson, number 63, just leading the way.
He really was.
Sophomore, man. Yeah, great up and coming lineman for us.
So early in this ball game, some of the guys who haven't gotten the playing time they would have liked already this season are getting out on the field, and we like to see that.
Tell you what, speaking of that number 22 Tuck Swisher, I want to say hello to his little cousins up in Indianapolis that are watching today, the Team Corcoran, Cash, Cameron, and Kruby. Hope you guys are being good boys tonight for your mom and dad, and can't wait to hear how football's going for you boys up back home.
Those are some cool names.
They're cool kids.
Cash, Cameron, and
Crew.
I like that. So we're going to switch sides, and now Land Sharks are going to be going right to left. And we'll have a nice field position at about the 31-yard line, and at this point we're kind of running the ball pretty much at will.
You know, Robert, something you mentioned that's probably we're talking about when some of these number 2s and number 3s on the depth chart, they've been working their tails off all year long. It's good to get the reps because of that, but also let's think about as we start to get deeper into the region and hopefully get into the playoffs, we need that next man up to be able to step in when someone has a cramp, someone has to take a breather, and you want to have the confidence as a coaching staff that you can substitute those guys in. They're battle-tested, and they've proven that they're willing to get in the game and contribute at a high level.
So that's – who's the running back? Is that Tuck?
Yep. That would be Tuck.
I think it is. Colby takes it. It's going to be a jet sweep around the left side. Tucker's down there making a block. Block him, Tuck. Good job. As I think it's Zay Hofford gets it down inside the 10.
Great play design.
Yeah, it really was. You could see that thing unfolding. It was executed beautifully as well. Now we're going to have a first and goal, ball right on that 10-yard line.
I like when they put Tuck back there, predominantly for blocking. He's not the stretch runner, the big-time runner. He's not afraid to initiate contact, but he took a couple guys out there and led the way for Zay.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Good job, 22. Here comes Vaughn with the run.
Vaughn now around the left side,
Man.
takes that handoff down to about the 2-yard line.
Attaboy 2-4. You know what I like about that run there? He put his shoulder and his head down, and he saw the sniff in the end zone there, BP.
Yeah, he's getting excited. Nice to see him
Hey,
get
Robert.
some touches.
We got Jason Ashley joining us here as we're getting close to this goal line. Jason, we wanted to sort of get your thoughts on how our offensive line is looking. We've noticed that there have been some early substitutions there, but first let's watch this play. Little shuffle pass, and it's going to be a touchdown. Zay Offord.
Zay was waving goodbye to him as he passed him.
So, Jason, what are you seeing down there, buddy?
Robert, it's pretty much what I think we all expected here tonight. It's pretty much domination up front, both sides of the ball. Offensively, our offensive line is blowing North Charleston off of the ball. Couple of runs up inside, you or I could have ran through those holes, and that's saying something, right?
Yeah, no, let's not get carried away.
and on the defensive line, they're just again, game in and game out, like last week, just showing their full force. And there's really nothing North Charleston can do with us up front.
Of course, North Charleston's got to play a lot of guys both ways, offense and defense, and it's still early in the ball game, but you got to figure they may have some fatigue issues later on.
Yeah, I think you're right. We'll definitely wear them down. But one thing that North Charleston, I don't know if you guys have talked about it yet, that number 7 for North Charleston, he is a threat on that outside edge, kind of getting away from the line of scrimmage here. But number 7 is a pure athlete, so that's something to watch and keep your eye on. If he gets the ball, he could create some danger.
And that's Samuel Riddy Jr., who made a brilliant one-handed catch, Odell Beckham Jr. style. I don't know if you were able to see that one, but it was pretty amazing. He's also their punter.
Yeah, it was right in front of me, and yes, it was that was ESPN Sports Center catch there. That one will be on the news tonight.
Well, Jason, we'll check in with you again at halftime, so stay close, all right?
Oh, all right, thank you, Robert.
Spencer McKinley now coming in to add one more point to our total, which is 26 at the moment, and now it's 27. So the Land Sharks, as expected, making quick work of the North Charleston Cougars here tonight. Can't imagine, what it's like. I'm sort of debating with myself whether to say this, but to be on a football team that's really struggling like these guys. How to keep your motivation up, how to keep working hard and trying every game. Of course, they've won a couple, so I guess they're not that bad.
Yeah, but I tell you, from a coaching staff perspective, it's tough to keep the kids' morale up. It's also hard for the coaches as well. And I tell you what, at least I give them credit for coming out and fighting and not just rolling over and throwing in the towel. These guys they're not going to quit tonight. Like I said earlier in the game, let's keep it classy tonight, and but let's still go out and give them a good contest.
Spencer puts another one in the end zone, and the North Charleston guys just look at it like, oh, man.
I walked all the way out here, and I got to walk all the way back.
They're like, why are we even on the field with that guy kicking them off?
Well, these games are tough. I tell you, what you don't want to see is complacency, and it's just going through the motions, because next Friday night, fellas, up at Hanahan, we have got a barn burner. That place is going to be packed. It's going to be loud. It's going to be rocking. We're the underdogs there. Hanahan is rated higher than us in 3A, and you hope that we treat this game as a, not as a tune-up, but let's make sure that some of the things we need to work on, we're working on, and let's not show a whole lot about what we may be doing next Friday night as well, too.
Land Sharks are really not getting a lot of respect in the rankings. I looked at the high school sports report rankings today. We were number 15.
I'm all right with that.
North Charleston, quick pass broken up over there on the right side of our defense.
It was number 6, Matthew Brown.
All right, Matt Brown, the senior safety, comes in there right on time, and that's going to make it 2nd down and 10 for the Cougars in the yellow jerseys, going left to right here in the second quarter. I see Justin Oree down there on the sidelines wearing a blue hoodie. Justin's out, but we hope that his spirits are up.
Same for Trey Brown, number 17.
So now it's going to be 3rd down, 2nd down and 10. Man in motion for the Cougars. Quick pass, incomplete. We had a chance maybe to intercept that one.
I think that surprised number 21, Steven Seegers. He was right there at him on the shoulder pad. Those are always dangerous throws that pops up, and that's an easy walk-in for 6 for the Land Sharks trailing behind him.
So now the Shark music plays as the Cougars are facing 3rd down and 10 here on their own 20-yard line. And we'll see what Willie Arford, our defensive coordinator, is going to dial up, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the lack of respect the Sharks are getting in these rankings. Pistol formation again, 3 wideouts to the left side and 1 over here on the right. The quarterback takes it. He's hit hard as he throws this one, and it falls well short of his target.
Ouch.
He is slow to get up.
Number 3 is the quarterback.
Well, number 3 is Tyrell Gatson.
I'll tell you, in that mix, I am peeking with some binoculars, but it's fun to knock somebody out like that. But I'm seeing a lot of great sportsmanship by our defensive guys that are putting those guys on their back, and they're turning around and picking them back up, and they're talking to them. Typically, the type of banter back and forth isn't as kind, as y'all know. But
Yeah.
I'm impressed with how we're handling this game so far defensively.
So we're going to have Zay and Rico back for us on our own 49-yard line as number 7, their punter, Samuel Riddy Jr., gets ready. It's a kind of a high snap, but he has it. It's a high punt, but not going to go too far. We pick it up at the 40-yard line.
Scary.
And that was Zay. Brought down right away. Probably should have called a fair catch there. Or maybe he did. No, he didn't.
It's kind of scary. You got guys coming back from the line going back, and they can't see the ball, so he's got to come up and grab it.
Man,
Or just get the heck away from it.
But they can't see it, and he's trying to call him off. And it's just kind of it's a weird play.
Zay is wearing some really bright pink gloves today. It's easy to see him out there on the field, as it is Billy Johnson with those high pink socks he has on.
Got Edward Reidenbach into the game now as quarterback, his second attempt on the field.
Tucker out there in the H-back position. And Edward wants to throw it to Tuck. Gets completed over on the right side, a little swing pass. I think a flag came flying in there, and we lost a couple on that play.
It was actually to Vaughn.
Actually, Vaughn, yeah.
Was that Vaughn? Well, it's established that I'm just not seeing very well tonight. I think my vision is actually worse than it was.
You know the remedy to that. Just put that black eye patch back on.
I'm telling you, it's a hot-looking thing.
You are definitely
it's
more handsome with that
exciting,
thing
Robert.
on.
Come on.
I am definitely going back to the eye patch, even if I can see out of my right eye.
We may have to go downtown after the game, Robert. I'm kidding.
I'm going to have to you're going to have to put me on camera, though, if I wear an eye patch.
Oh, we'll do the camera. That's no problem.
First and forever now for Edward Reidenbach, the sophomore. We put a man in motion. Edward's going to hand it to Vaughn. Vaughn got
Good
some
blocking,
good blocking
good
on the
blocking.
left side. He found a hole, weaved it way through, down to the
Good run.
35. Not a first down, but really close.
I watched Monroe on that whole play, and I'm telling you, he put just his hand movement shoving people out of the way.
Great blocking, but also great recognition from Vaughn to take that lead block.
Touchdown.
Monroe Freeling.
Delayed.
They did call it a first. I don't know about that. But anyway, we'll take it on their 32-yard line. I was about to talk about our offensive line. Monroe Freeling is wearing number 74 today. He's our left tackle, our left guard. Of course, Jason's boy, Jacob Ashley, and he's wearing 77. Sometimes he'll wear a 76, depending on what uniform it is and how those jerseys fit.
I think it's how much they eat during the week, because sometimes they might overeat, and then maybe they got to downsize in the number size.
So if you see Jacob in a 77,
He
you
didn't
know-
eat enough that week.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
So the 76 is when he had a few extra cheeseburgers.
That's what I'm thinking.
The center, of course, is Zach Champagne, number 67. Right guard is the ferocious senior captain, Will Gauze. And then the right tackle, also a senior, is number 54, Shane Mahoney.
Tell you what, when those boys graduate, there'll be lots of open vacancies on that offensive line for us.
There will be. Monroe should be back next year unless he leaves
can't-
early for the NFL.
Yeah, he can't turn pro, can he?
We were thinking the same thing, weren't we?
I'll tell you what, though.
Go ahead.
Fenn Johnson, number 63, has looked great.
Oh,
and I
fit
tell
right
you,
in, man.
there's a couple up-and-comers on the JV squad that have really been looking good. Owen Millard, Sawyer Hearn, Marshall Evans, P.D. Patrick, and Charlie Bean as center. We're grooming them the right way, but I tell you, that's a bunch of big shoes to fill.
These kids are all still growing, you can't underestimate how good those freshmen and sophomores will be. Edward hands it off to Vaughn. Vaughn gets past one tackler,
Untouched.
a second.
Attaboy,
Great
Tuck.
blocking downfield.
Not a first down, but a touchdown.
And a touchdown, Vaughn Blue. And he can thank that guy who just gave him a hug in the end zone. Is that Tuck? Because he was blocking very well for him downfield. Tucker never gave up on his block. I was keeping my eye on him as Vaughn was just picking his way through the North Charleston defense, which seems to be a little bit maybe demoralized.
Yeah, but you know what? We're still executing, though, and we're making great plays. We're not loafing. We're not taking the foot off the gas.
And Spencer McKinley puts another point on the board for the Sharks. And now our lead is 34-0 here in the second quarter.
You know, Robert and BP, one other thing to talk about is this idea of getting some of the other kids in. The other thing you want to be wary of is when you're playing competition like this, injuries that are unnecessary, right? Kids in the second half. Listen, we got a whale of a game coming up next Friday. I'm okay with some of the starting guys getting some extra oxygen and water on the sideline tonight, getting a little extra rest. They're not going to be banged up. It makes the week's lead-up practice into going up to Hanahan, which is only, 14, 15 miles away, but probably takes about an hour and a half to get there with this Charleston traffic.
Yeah.
But I like those guys being a little bit more rested and injury-free. Let's hope that we can still keep the safety at a good level here for these boys.
Excellent points there, Swish. As I guess that's Spencer about to kick this one off. And it's a knuckleballer this time.
Sweet. We get a run back.
The Cougar's going to get a chance to run it from his own goal line, basically.
Oh,
That's number 22.
Good
I think
coverage.
he can't quite get to the 10-yard line
coverage. Perfect.
before the blue shirts come in and
That's what
corral
you
him.
got. Yeah, you got to practice that a little bit. You get in the playoffs, we do a kickoff, doesn't make it into the end zone. We haven't done this all year. You're going to have trouble trying to cover a good, fast guy.
BP,
With talent.
good point. Think about that. As a kickoff team, when you're running down and maintaining your lanes, you get so used to Spencer bombing it into the end zone that you kind of let off. And what happens that one time?
I got a good story on this, too, that Spencer went up to Ohio State, and they invited all these kickers up, right, to kick it, see how far they can kick it. They asked them to see if they can kick it straight up in the air and get as close as they could to the goal line, because Ohio State said, we got enough talent to get down there to beat the ball down there. So that's a good thing to think about.
So North Charleston now has it 1st and 10 just inside their own 10-yard line. Dangerous territory for the quarterback, number 3, Tyrell Gatson.
We're blitzing.
And he's going to throw a little wide receiver screen over to the right side for a loss of about 4 or 5 yards on the play.
That kind of looked like they were going to pitch that back outside to the running back after he caught it. Did you see that, Swish?
Yeah, I did. It was Timmy and Rhett and Steven Sigers in on the play. It looked like it was almost kind of like a little hook and ladder.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I couldn't say it coming from a defensive guy.
So looking ahead to next week, Hanahan coached, of course, by Art Craig in his 2nd season, and he's solid as they come, always puts good teams on the field. And so far this year, they're 4-1, having lost only to Stratford, a larger school, by only 1 point, 15-14. Pistol formation now for the Cougars. The quarterback drops into the end zone, tries to throw a little free throw to his running back, but can't quite complete that one. Number 15 is Deshaun Williams. He was the intended receiver.
I'll tell you what, I've been watching, keep my eye on Ben Britton, number 10. You said it, he was, started off the year as an offensive lineman at number 50, and all of a sudden he was a mystery man, moved to number 10 because we were putting him at kind of a tight end spot. But now with Justin Horry out, he is, he's really doing a fantastic job anchoring us down and right there in the middle. Just keep an eye on Ben. Man, what a big-sized kid. He might be undersized for nose tackle, but he's getting the job done tonight.
He's quick.
3rd down and 12 now for North Charleston. Pistol formation. The snap is in the end zone. It's going to be a safety. Quarterback. They've had a bunch of adventurous snaps tonight. And that one was not at a good time for North Charleston.
Swish, didn't somebody say something about an emoji that was 45 points at halftime, right? That was the goal? I think
that might have been you.
Maybe it was last week.
Might have been you.
You said you wanted 45 in the game, right?
In the first half.
Oh, first half.
First
okay.
half.
I guess I was only halfway listening to you, which is not
I mean,
unusual.
it wasn't me, but it's something I heard.
So again, guys, I'm going to continue to come back and harp on this. I don't want this to be a trap game for us, right? We're expected to win, favored heavily, and you get we're 36-0. There's 8 minutes left before the first half is even clipped away. Keeping focus, keeping attention on the sideline, not letting guards down. That's, for me, that's what I'm looking for here in the rest of the ball game for the Land Sharks.
Of course, that safety tacks on 2 more points. And to add insult to injury, North Charleston is going to have to kick it off to the Sharks. And we'll have another offensive possession. We have 2 guys deep. Who is that over on the far hash?
Von Blue.
Von Blue. That's unusual for him to be deep on a kickoff. And Zay Offord is the other deep back on the left hash. Both of them standing between the 30 and the 35. And the kicker for North Charleston might be that number 7. I can't tell.
Is.
It is, and he
Rhett
puts
Powell.
it into the hands
You better take it back, son.
Rhett Powell carries it down to the 35-yard line. Rhett wearing a lot of white sleeves and socks and things down there today. Looks like he's mummified.
You don't want to get that turf burn out there on that nice carpet that Citadel has.
Smart thinking.
Dressed like his mama.
1st and 10, 35-yard line is our line of scrimmage. This is our last home game at Johnson Haygood unless we're at home in the playoffs, which is certainly possible. Last year, we had the advantage of being home all the way through the playoffs, but we had to forfeit. Edward, I think, is in there now.
Take it,
He
baby.
keeps it, has a little hole right to the right side, and he picks up about 4 yards.
Got a little change up on the offensive line, guys. We've got Jacob Ashley is now our right tackle. Eddie Portelis, number 59, is in the game. Good to see Eddie getting some play. Zach Champagne is still at center. Will Gauze has moved to left tackle, and we've got Big Monroe Freeling left guard, then Monroe at the left tackle.
And we've got 3 wide receivers and 1 H-back. Dylan Baker back in. Handoff is to Vaughn. Wide open hole. Oh, my goodness. They grabbed him around the shoulders. They're not going to call a horse collar there. But we are going to have a
First down.
on the 15-yard line.
I'm getting hoarse.
Might want to save your voice. So, man, that was one of those holes, like Jason Ashley said, that maybe he or I could have run through. It was plenty of room for
A truck.
Vaughn
A
to
truck
run.
to drive through that thing.
I'm
Big
kind
ol'.
of surprised, actually, they caught
It
Vaughn.
almost looked like he slipped.
Edward claps, has it, throws it, slant pattern. It's going to be a touchdown for the Land Sharks, number 2.
No, that was Colby with the throw
Oh, that's Colby. I thought it
to
was
number
Edward.
8.
All right. Is it Cole Strickler?
Yes.
All right, so Cole on the reception. And that was Colby. I could have sworn that was Edward.
That was a good pass, good catch.
It was a nice zip in there. Was Colby in on that whole drive, and I kept calling him Edward?
That's all right. We're gonna ease you along tonight, big fella.
I appreciate a little grace as we try and get an extra point here to make it 43-0. We're getting real close to that 45 points that Brian keeps talking about.
I'll tell you what I like about that is we're not being flashy and trying to throw the ball, big throws downfield. But what I liked about that is the setup with the run,
Keep driving.
play action, bang, on a nice little slant route. Pretty safe, calculated play calling there, which I like.
So, guys, do you think the Sharks' offense is going to try and throw a little curveball to Hanahan by running some plays that we would certainly not normally run?
I think right at this point, way the score is, we're just going to keep it plain vanilla going the rest of the game, get a lot of playing time for everybody else.
Well,
Not even looking forward to the next game yet.
Normally, we run a lot more jet sweeps and quick passes to our wideouts, and we haven't seen much of that tonight.
No, and if you know anything about Coach Call, he's talk about grace. He's a coach of grace that he's not going to go rub something in this team's face because that football karma doesn't forget and can come back around and bite you in the tail, whether it's North Charleston or somebody else. So what I'd like to, like I said earlier, is you get your second, third string in. They're still going to compete, and they're still going to try to execute at a high level because they don't get a chance to play a lot.
That's going to be in the end zone, and North Charleston will have it 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. 7 minutes and 10 seconds to play here in the second quarter.
Scotty, let's get a pan on our sideline chain crew. I want to give them a shout out. The best crew in the state we've got tonight. Dennis Patrick, who's kind of the chain crew leader. We've got Lance Brooks. We've got Ron Buddy Bean. There's Shane Gilchrist and Matt Stubbs, all looking pretty handsome in those blue shirts over there.
Well, everybody's wearing their blue shirts tonight except this contrarian to my right. Brian had to go with the black. 1st and 10 now for the
It's my good luck shirt.
Cougars. It's paying off so far, although we don't need a whole lot here. That's a completed pass, though, and
good block.
North Charleston's wide receiver picks up 20 yards.
I'll tell you, number 7 had a great block over there that gave him that extra 5 to 10 yards to get that first down. Really nice play.
Yeah, it was a good block.
Number 7, of course, is Samuel Ritty Jr., who's pretty clearly the best player on that team, at least tonight.
It was a gain of 19. A nice pickup for the Cougars.
And they're going to have a first down, of course, at their own 39-yard line as we pass the 7-minute mark. Clock is stopped here in the second quarter. We may have a running clock when we get to the second half. And there's a little confusion as some guys are running in and off the field for North Charleston. Good thing that guy got on the field because he was getting the pass.
There you go. Good.
Flag, number 22, picks up 5 yards.
That was a good call by the ref.
Sydney R.J.
Blocking the
Span.
back.
Yes, Steven Seeger's got blocked right in the back. And we see now who's hobbling off there. That is Roan Sharver.
It's not pretty.
Yeah, we don't want Roan to get hurt. Don't want anybody, of course, to get hurt at all, but certainly not in a game like this.
I don't know if it's a cramp or if he was reaching down. I'm taking a look at him here on the sideline.
Yeah, I don't. It's kind of early for a cramp, is all I'm thinking. I hope that's what it is, though. Scott Yerkison, our excellent trainer, is down there tending to Roan. As somebody's going to be in there for Roan. It looks like it's number 35.
Be Lucas Sneed.
Lucas Sneed getting some playing time. High snap to the quarterback. He's hit hard as he crosses that line of scrimmage. Picks up maybe a yard.
It was
Matt Brown.
Matt Brown, Rhett Powell, and Carson Arnold.
Yep, 3 guys triangulating on that runner. I know Lucas Sneed is not replacing Roan Sharver.
That's our 4th linebacker.
Lucas? He's a great kid. Know him pretty well. Whenever he enters the room, I go, Lucas! As this running back powers forward, carries a couple of our guys about 4 yards, but it was a second down and something like 25. Number 26, really running with some authority out there. Kamarion Smith. So now it's 3rd down and 15 to go, 5:18, second quarter. North Charleston trying to pick up some first downs to keep their defense off the field, maybe put a point on the board or 2. It's a direct snap to one of the running backs. He goes around the left side. He picked up 4 yards, but he's not going to be anywhere close to a first down.
Guys, I'm peeking down at Roan and Scott Yerkes, looks like Roan's getting bandaged up on the outside of his left knee, so I don't think it's a cramp for sure. He might have gotten a gash or a cut or taken a cleat to the side. It looks like he's got some bleeding going on. Looks like he's getting wrapped up, though.
That's actually a good thing.
I saw his dad go down and he came back with smiles, so that sounds good.
Austin probably going to say rub some dirt on it and get back out there.
4th down, 12 now. And the Cougars are going to punt it. Samuel Ritty Jr., number 7, big guy, takes the snap, boots it, and this is a nice punt.
Oh, good return
Drives
time.
Zay Offord back inside our 30. Zay trying to dance
good
around the
block.
Cougars. Oh, my goodness.
Good block.
That was Tez Spahn.
Tez Spahn laid a guy out.
No.
Nope.
Tez Spahn got the ball, and he ran it back.
Oh, did I? And I said it was Zay.
Yep.
Well, it's because of those bright orange, bright pink gloves.
They're trying to fool you tonight.
They are, because I can't read their dang numbers. But I'm glad you got those binoculars.
They're handy.
And we're still going with a bunch of reserves out there on that offensive line.
There is a new running back
Is
back
that
there.
Tuck Swisher out there, running back. Who's the quarterback? So I don't mess that up.
Edward Reidenbach.
All right, now it's Edward. They're just trying to mess me up, is all.
Oh, go, baby.
Tucker Swisher.
Go, baby.
Picks up 10.
Keep running.
15.
Keep
20.
going, baby.
Go, Tucker. All the way down to the 23-yard line.
Add some excitement to it. I like it.
Taking full advantage of this playing opportunity he's getting here tonight.
Juking and jiving left and right and kept going, baby. First down.
Man, he hit that hole fast, didn't he?
Hey, Cash Corcoran, you watching back at home. That's how you run the ball, kid. Watch your cousin there.
Zay Offord coming out onto the field. He's going to be over on the right side. I think it's Cole Strickler all alone over here on the left. As Edward takes
there he
it,
goes
hands it to Tuck again. They like the way he ran it that time, so we're going to do it again, and he gets 8.
I like his aggressiveness, just hitting that pocket, and you don't really know which direction he's going. He just boots it back outside and puts his head down.
Is that Bryce Bennett out there on the
Number
center
80.
around the 20?
Like I said, it's really good to see Bryce back out too, man. He took that awful hit up at Fort Dorchester and had a concussion, so good to see Bryce back out there.
Tucker took his towel down, just threw it down. Just give me the ball, coach.
And it's Jace Krafchick over here on the left, not Cole.
Oh,
As Edwards going to take it
that.
down
Look
into
at that.
the end zone.
I like to see my backup quarterback score a touchdown like that.
Edward with a designed run all the way. Had some big space to run through.
Well, I like to go ahead and say that I hit my over number.
You did. Now we're at 49-0, and it's about to be 50.
All right,
With-
Swish. Yep.
3 minutes to go in the ball game, and
Start putting all the players in.
you can't say the Sharks are running up the score. I mean, we
No.
got to play, right?
Got to play. Start substituting. And we are. We're doing that.
And no question. Coach Call has done that. You know, it's just no disrespect intended at all, but North Charleston just, they can't match up with Oceanside, and they're in the same region, but that just doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And we're in a region where we've got 4 teams in the bottom. Rankings don't really mean anything, but when you see a game like this, it tells you the rankings are 4 of those teams are the very, very bottom of the 3A rankings. So,
Well, I think-
and every year it's like that. And it's hard to play against like that. That's when you also see a lot of injuries too. If you try to go half speed, you get hurt. And if you play too much and play your stars, you score too much. No one gets happy. Nobody's learning anything out of this either. But all you can do is start substituting players in, try to keep people healthy, play a good, healthy, smart game. That's what it is.
Well, I tell you, every 3 years, the high school league shuffles the deck and reorganizes the regions, right? And so you got to hope at some point in time, I don't care about school population, but when you see a program that's in this type of state,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing them drop down to 2 or maybe even 1A, get a little bit more competitive, because what you don't want to see is killing the spirit of these kids
And
from
they
playing football again.
Just going by the population doesn't help because they just don't have enough football players.
Spencer McKinley boots this one. It's going to be down at the 5-yard line and returned by one of the Cougars. He gets all the way up to the 15, and then we drag him down. Lots of blue jerseys moving in very quickly. I'm going to stop that.
I'm going to keep an eye on defense here. I got a feeling we're probably going to end the half with our starting defense. Then I think you may see some substitutions coming out of the halftime. Oh, Lucas Snead is still in there, though.
It's nice.
I'm glad to see Lucas getting some playing time. Last year,
I am too.
he was on the swim team. Been at Oceanside his entire high school career. He's a senior now. Real smart kid.
If you go back to the League of South Carolina, it'd be nice to some of those JV players that didn't get to play in the JV game.
And the quarterback It's coming around the right side, gets hit, but then bounces off and picks up a yard or two. That's number 15 as the quarterback, Deshaun Williams now.
Zay did a good job of closing and went down and slowed him up that allowed the other Sharks to get out there and stop a big breakaway down the sideline. It was a good play by Zay.
I mean, I don't know who you're going to sub in, frankly.
We don't have anybody that subs
on the
in.
defense.
No,
We don't have a whole bunch of reserves sitting around.
Well, you're right. We're at about 40 deep on the squad. We've got a pretty good even mix of offensive and defensive players. You're
Everybody's
right
a one-way starter, pretty much.
We got 5 guys on the line of scrimmage, and then we bring a linebacker in to blitz, as well as a Cougar slips down in the backfield and loses some more yards. That's going to make it 3rd down and 10 to go for North Charleston. And I'm just ready to hear some shark music. There we go, right on cue. As the clock ticks down inside 2 minutes at 1:40 and moving. North Charleston has picked up a couple of first downs tonight. And it's another direct snap to a running back type play, but it's not going to be very successful. And the punter is going to come back on the field for Oceanside again. I mean, our defense, guys, is really rock solid. I know, North Charleston's not the Carolina Panthers exactly, but our defense in every game this year has really been pretty tough. The Butler game being one exception, but there were like 5 turnovers in that game by our offense.
We've got, 9? We have 9 returning starters from last year that started and replaced 2 of them.
And you talked about our offensive line losing a bunch of seniors this year, but our defense is going to be losing a bunch of them too.
We're coming for a blitz here. Or a block punt, sorry.
And it looks like we're in there. The punter gets the ball off, and we're going to just let it hit and die. I'm not sure who we had deep over there on that side, but it's not who you normally see.
It looked like 21 Steven Seegers and then Zay.
Now I just want to snap the ball and kneel it.
Okay, so so that who is? I'm looking at that guy. You said it was Zay. That's not Zay.
Which one there?
That's number 3.
3 is Zach Hagedon.
That was Zach Hagedon. He just sat down. That was who was out there deep.
I thought it was 21.
Well, 21 may have been out there as well, but Zach is the one who was on the opposite side of the field. Well, I could certainly be wrong. So who's the quarterback? Colby?
Edward
riding back, hands it off to Tuck Swisher, who picks up about 9 yards, and Tuck is having a career night here tonight in the second quarter. That may be the last play of the first half. It's 2nd down and about 2 yards to go. Stick around for halftime. We're going to bring in Richie Altman and get his observations on this first half of play, in which the Oceanside Land Sharks have scored 50 points on the North Charleston Cougars. And BP is going to take a little break. And, guys, I don't know how much there is to say about that first half in which we scored 50 points. I don't know that Oceanside, that I can ever recall a game where we've scored 50 in one half.
We had some pretty big scores a few years back, but nothing like this. So, hey, Robert, I just want to make a quick recognition. And, Scott, if you want to catch the film here on the field, I think the girls' soccer team is going to be awarded their rings here at halftime. So,
well, that'll be nice to see. State champions.
Swim team was going to also be honored, but I think they've got a meet tomorrow morning. Gotcha.
So Richie Allman joining us now at halftime, as we mentioned a minute ago. And Richie, 50 points is a lot to put up in a ball game, much less one half.
Yeah, guys, the fun part about this, right, is that we're able to get a lot of bodies in. We're able to get a lot of these young guys in, give them experience, because who knows, they maybe get called in during the playoffs. So just to get them some in-game experience and run some plays and just kind of build some momentum and a little bit of confidence for our offense, who has put in a lot of effort, but, some of the scores have been a little short. So tonight we're able to put 50 up going into halftime. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of the guys that have been standing on the sideline and been the support system of what we do every Friday night.
Any of those young guys coming in standing out from your standpoint thus far?
Well, so far the backup quarterback has done a great job. I think, he's already come in as a leader. He's got it in him, so he has a chance tonight to kind of show it. And I like number 22, the running back. This kid looks a lot like Mike Alstott back in the day for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I say, you keep feeding him, and then if we can do that, we'll be able to air it out, because I do think this backup quarterback has an amazing arm, and we'll be able to see that in the second half as well.
Yeah, Edward Reidenbach, of course, just a sophomore. But as you pointed out, he had a nice solid half of football there for the Land Sharks. Looks like we have substituted as much as we could really on the defense, but we don't have a whole lot of backups on our defense.
So when you look at the defense, even like I told our coaches tonight, we haven't been very good at scooping up the ball when the ball's down by our feet. Tonight we did that. We got a pick on the first quarter, and that to me is something that rolls out of our hands a couple of weeks ago. So every little thing that we're doing positive is something that we're going to build to as we get ready for next week, which everybody knows it's the biggest game on the schedule because it's the game of the week for us.
Richie, it's Swish. I was just great segue. I was going to say, what are your thoughts? These are kind of tricky games, right? We're up 50 points. I consider it maybe a trap game from the standpoint that, you take your foot off the gas pedal a little bit, but you don't want to. You want to avoid some potential injuries as well. We got to go safely into next week's practice and really gear up for a tough Hanahan squad.
Yeah, I think it builds confidence, though. It can be a trap, but these coaches, we're very blessed to have the coaching staff we do that have played at the next level and multiple levels after high school. So we're able to prepare these guys for what is ahead. And then, again, tonight it's the biggest game because it's the next game on the schedule. So we enjoy this one tonight. But come midnight, we go back to work, and come Sunday, we start looking at film and get ready for the next game.
Richie, we were talking earlier about how the Land Sharks are not getting much love in the rankings. The High School Sports Report had us ranked number 15 in 3A. And the sports press guys poll didn't even have us ranked at all or even honorably mentioned in 3A. What do you make of all that?
Well, I look at it like this. If you're judging us by our wins and losses, that's shame on you. If you look at our strength of schedule, we've played the toughest non-region schedule in the state. I'll put that against anybody else, 1 to 5. And, we've gotten better. Even though we might not have come out the game with the win, we come out with the confidence knowing that we can play against the Myrtle Beaches. We can play against the best team, one of the best teams in the state of North Carolina. Let's be honest. That was a powerhouse after we watch what they're able to do week in and week out after that. And then, we went up to grade. We kept that running back down to 1 touchdown, and it took him 4 quarters to find it. So, if you're just looking at some of that, sure, you're not going to put the right guys in the right place. But the good news is that I like being an underdog because nobody expects us to do what we know we can do.
I wonder if these guys are going to have a little chip on their shoulder next week when they go into Hanahan, with Hanahan getting a lot more respect than we are.
I think these guys are well-grounded, and I give, again, tip of the cap to our coaching staff just to keep these young men understanding that we knew tonight was going to be like it was, but we wanted to kind of finalize some kind of loose ends as we get ready for a very well-coached-up team over there with Art Craig. And, again, we've got another couple of quarters where we can look too far ahead, but, we understand come Sunday at film and come Monday through Thursday at practice, that's going to be the game that easily could decide who wins this region. And we all understand and we treat it like the region runs through Oceanside. So as long as we play our game, we play our assignment, I'm not worried about the rest of the week and the rest of the schedule.
So we found you standing over there next to Jason Ashley. So you're on camera. There you go. You're looking at us now. Good to see you. One question I had for you, and I don't know if you're going to know the answer to this, but we saw Roan Sharver come off the field hobbling. Do you know anything about his injury?
Yeah, just a little tweak. I think he'll be fine. Again, we're up by 50 points, so to leave him in probably wasn't going to happen anyway. So sometimes the good man above takes him out a little early, and that's all right. We'll just throw some ice on him, give him some hydration, get him ready for Hanahan, but he's good to go.
Well, that's good to hear because we've definitely had some significant injuries this season. Most recently, losing Justin O'Ree with a knee surgery.
Yeah, I think, again, just making sure that we don't leave these guys in too long for games like this. I mean, we're very optimistic about what we have as far as some of our backups, but this gives our young guys, again, a chance to step up and do what we know they can do because, again, when you're constantly on the practice squad, it's hard to come out here on Friday nights and not see the playing field. So now we get a chance to reward these guys as they've been the ones we kind of beat up on the whole year at this point.
It makes it a lot more fun for us. We're getting an opportunity to see some guys play who we, as you said, haven't been able to see thus far this season.
Yeah, it's kind of fun because you get a chance and you actually have to now look at the chart, see who's out there and whose new numbers are being seen. So for you guys and even me, it gives me a chance to get to know some new guys and see what they do.
Well, Richie, swish again. I was going to say it's kind of a new treat for you this year to be actually down on the field in a coaching position with some player development and some character development. You're used to being up in the booth and calling great games like you do, but I got to tell you, it's fun seeing you down on the sideline. How's it feel down there?
I enjoy it. For me, everything I do is thankful for the big man above who puts me where he needs me, right? It's not always my plan, but it's his purpose. So for me to be down here and kind of talking to these guys as they come off the field with a lot of emotion on them, they want to, kind of come out of their shoes. That's where I come in and I pull them aside and I explain to them, hey, look, that's all right. Let's see another play. Or some of these other guys who are backups, explaining to them, now's your chance. Go out there and give them a reason not to pull you off. But then if they pull you off, make sure you're pulling in and cheering up those guys. And then for the starters, it's the same thing. Hey, guys, these guys have been your biggest cheerleaders all year. It's your turn to repay that favor. So it's a lot of fun. Coach Call's given me an opportunity after so many years with him to do something that I really feel that the big man above is kind of leading me into this direction for the rest of my time down on the football field.
Well, I'll tell you, you're not only great to the Oceanside Land Sharks, but you're a lover of all these players throughout the Low Country and throughout the state. You've done a tremendous job supporting high school football. Got a lot of people that love you, and I can tell you what, the Land Shark Nation's pretty happy we got you down on the sideline. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, guys, when I get to come to games like this and North Charleston coaches come over to me and a lot of the other kids of North Charleston to come over, or even Buford and some of the other games where I know the coaches and players because of my radio show. So, again, you thank God for what you have and you keep pushing forward for what he knows is ahead of you. So I'm real excited to be here, guys. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate you guys welcoming me and my family into the Oceanside family. And, we've all got a goal here, so we're going to keep it in between the hedges here the next couple of quarters.
Well, thank you, Richie. You certainly are adding a lot to our broadcast with your thoughts on the game tonight and the players, and we do appreciate you joining us. And if we have an opportunity later, we may try and track you down again.
All right, guys, I'm all yours. Just hit me up. Thank you.
Thank you. Richie Altman joining the coaching staff this year of the Land Sharks. Of course, he has a radio show, internet radio show.
Well, he actually took a career change. Huge decision for him to move out of Somerville and went up to Charlotte, and all of a sudden found his way back here pretty quickly. You know what? We're the benefactor of that. So glad he can come back here, and he's serving a good purpose on this staff this year, and I'm really happy for him.
So as we move towards the second half of football here, we got a couple minutes left to go at halftime. We're going to really try and keep everybody healthy and give some of the younger guys opportunities to play. And since we have some time to spare, I don't have my eye patch on, but we're going to get on camera anyway. Oh, my God. And thank you all for joining us here today. As we get ready to resume play at Johnson Haygood, the Sharks are out on the field on our right in their blue jerseys and white pants, warming up. What color of blue is that? Does it have a name?
You know, the official color of the Land Sharks is processed blue sea, which sounds ugly and doesn't really mean anything. And I think our athletic director, Mark Meyer, has a quiet, soon not to be quiet, campaign to get the school color officially changed to Columbia blue. Not Carolina blue, but Columbia blue. And I'll tell you what, I kind of like it. And it looks a lot like that blue we got out right there.
I like that color of blue. I do.
And I'll tell you that those blue uniforms, talking about the Booster Club, we bought those for the school this year. So they had a chance to get one set of uniforms. They got the all whites, the white top and the white bottoms. Booster Club came in and said, hey, let's go with blue. And they're very collegiate looking. I like how Coach Call designed these big collegiate block letters. Nice little OCA logo at the V of the neck, and then the old U.S. flag on the breast as well. Next year, Robert, working with our buddy Robbie Lyles at BSN, we got some black uniforms, so we're going all black next year. So can't wait. They look mean and ugly. So
well, that's always fun when you have a blackout and you put your guys in all black uniforms, and maybe even the fans come all dressed up in black. So we're going to go in here and see if we can hang on to this 50-point lead that we have at halftime. In case you're just joining us, you missed a lot of offensive firepower from the Land Sharks, who started the game by kicking and recovering an onside kick. And we were able to drive it down about 50 yards before turning it over to North Charleston. North Charleston really hasn't been able to do much at all on offense tonight, and also really not much of a match for our big offensive line and our skilled players as well.
I got my the swish pack sitting down there. I just got a little groove. See Lulu down there. You know, I'm most proud about is they're not on their iPads here, Robert.
Yeah,
that's good progress.
Even at halftime.
Hey, I've just been informed the second half, a little bit of a change in the clock management. We'll go to an 8-minute clock that's running. So typically it's a 12-minute clock blown dead and live on the official's whistle. Due to the score, both coaches have come together and said we're going to go 8-minute running clock, and I think that's probably the right answer. So.
And that's not a mandatory rule. That's something that you can decide or not, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
You know, Eugene Benton is one of the coaches, and Eugene's never short on words or opinions. And he offered up an opinion on Twitter that I happened to see this week that I thought was interesting about the running clock. He's very much opposed to it because he says, you know, give the backups a chance to play and don't take away their opportunity for playing time by going to this running clock in the second half. And I think he has a good point there. But I see the other side of it as well. And, you know, I'm getting ready for a hot dog here. Point. Oh, there we go.
Hey.
Just as BP comes back around.
Typically, you're not the one to talk about the old hot dogs, but I got to tell you, I can call Ripley, my little guy who's down there. He is, again, the concession stand connoisseur. And he does not like the choices here at Johnson Haygood Stadium. Now, at BE, they had it. That's probably the best thing going on there at BE that night was the live grills they had. They have quite an assortment.
I was unable to take advantage of that cornucopia of culinary delight. As North Charleston is going to have to kick it off to the Land Sharks to start the second half, and that's just what they need, is for the ball to get back to our offense. And I think that's Rico over there on the right side, right hash. Rico Harrell up to the 40, 45, 47-yard line. So we're going to start with good field position. And Steve Rudnicki, our PA announcer, confirming that that was Rico. He looks a little slow getting up there. Hope he's all right. Rico, of course, a senior. His sister listens in sometimes from down in Florida. And his dad, Rico Sr.,
Looks like we've got the first team in, minus Bryce Bennett.
So Colby is going to hand it off to Vaughn. Vaughn gets the edge, has a first down all the way up to their 41-yard line. Sorry, Brian, I took away your thunder.
No, it's quite okay. And I was doing a little marketing for our football team.
Well, we did an investigation while you were gone, and
All the hot dogs are gone.
well, no, we ascertained that Pepsi can does indeed only have Pepsi.
I only have Pepsi. Oh, you verified it?
No, he was looking for dip spit.
No.
I can assure you I verified it with my nose and not my taste buds.
Well, you did it the other way last time.
So Colby now puts a man in motion, hands it off, going left to right. I think that's Zay.
Yep.
Zay changes direction.
The quarterback
now.
block.
Come
Quarterback
back
block.
the other way.
Yeah.
Colby does block a little bit for him. 74, Monroe Freeling still blocking downfield as Zay gets down to the 12-yard line.
No flags.
And that's going to be another Oceanside.
First
Landshore.
down. I did patent that, so you can't call that out, Robert.
I can't say it. Scott does a pretty darn good imitation on the JV games.
We've been practicing a lot together. You know where that comes from, right? It's the old one of the old NFL referees. I forgot Auerbach was his last
Red
name.
Auerbach. No, he
No, it
was a
wasn't him.
basketball coach.
But there was a referee that had the same name.
So
But, yeah.
Tuck Swisher's getting more time in there at running back after he really showed some stuff in the first half. And he's going to take this handoff and get hit after he picked up a couple of yards down to the 10-yard line. He was really met hard by number 5 of the Cougars. And let's give that kid credit because he's still playing hard. That's John Rhett. Their linebacker. Also plays a little bit of running back for the Cougars. Now it's second down and about 8.5, let's call it, as Colby in there with 3 wide receivers and an H-back. Gives it again to Tucker. Tucker has a hole. He gets through it up to about the 5-yard line. Not going to be enough for a first, so we'll have a third now and short with the line of scrimmage at about the 6-yard line of North Charleston.
So did we verify if there's a running clock second half?
We did. It's an 8-minute running clock,
8 minutes,
too.
wow.
So as you can see, we're already down to 4:50 to play here in the third quarter. The H-back out there is Dylan Baker, number 11 right now. Tuck is in the pistol position behind the quarterback. He takes the handoff. He wants to get that first down, but North Charleston not going to let him do it. And he's brought down, hit pretty hard there right at the line of scrimmage. He might have lost a foot or two. So we have it 4th down now. And it looks like I don't know what we're doing. We're going to kick it. Yep. So Spencer is going to have a chance. Because I saw a bunch of defensive players running out. That's why I was confused. So as the clock gets down to the 4-minute mark, Spencer is going to try and boot one up and add to our 50-0 lead. Who's going to do the math on this one?
Well, that is a 24-yard field goal.
No, it's more than that. 24 plus 7. It's a 31-yard field goal.
Well, Robert, you asked us to do the math.
I intended for you to do it right.
Well, I mean, we're not mathematicians.
Ball was placed on the 14-yard line, right?
Plus 17 is 31. Right?
I redid my math, and I think you're correct, Robert.
Well,
You add 10. Wherever the ball is kicked from, you add 10.
Yes, that is true.
or 17 from the line of scrimmage.
But, Robert, you can't
That's
see
how
down
I
the
do it.
field. So but you can't see the field, though. You're good.
So Swish, are you saying that my math is wrong? You're shaking your head.
I'm pretty convinced that
He can't see.
It's pretty bad when you're arguing about math. That is usually not a debatable topic.
hey, listen, I'm from Indiana, and you got the law degree, so I'll put my money on you. But
Well, you note I have a law degree and not a mathematics degree. There's a reason. I dodged every math class I could. All the way through college. I took logic, among other things that would barely qualify as a math course at Emory University, where I matriculated.
there he goes again,
There's that
BP.
secret word, something different.
I do
Did
know
you say articulate?
matriculate. Let's be real careful with that one. 3:45 to go here with a running clock in the third quarter, but it's stopped right now. I guess it'll pick back up when North Charleston snaps the ball. They're going to have a 1st and 10, of course, on the 20 after Spencer put yet another one in their end zone. Really nice night for football. We haven't had any cold weather to speak of here in Charleston yet this fall, and we're getting pretty far into October. Today being the 8th. Are we going to debate that too, or can
No,
we agree?
another good thing, we haven't had any tropical storms come here and delay any football.
Hey, bite your tongue.
Yeah, knock on wood and metal and everything else.
Oh.
Bad snap. Number 3 falls on it down on their own 10-yard line.
That was your guy, Lucas Sneed, with the tackle.
All right, Lucas
Let's
coming
see
in.
him out there.
He looked pretty darn fast to me coming in from that right edge, tackling Ricardo Bailey. I would have liked to see Lucas have a scoop and score, though.
I'll tell you, I'm happy that we didn't get any rain. The whole week it looked like it was going to be very wet here, and we dodged one tonight.
That we did. Has been a wet week in Charleston. 2:40 now, third quarter. Pistol formation for North Charleston. Their quarterback's going to roll it around the right side, pressured, almost completed. Zay Offord in there at the very last minute, preventing number 18, DeMarcus Bennett, from making that catch.
I've seen a couple mouthpieces hanging out on those guys. I thought, don't they need to keep those mouthpieces in?
Supposed to, yeah.
I tell you, I got a good buddy of mine, Dr. Greg. Ready for this name? This would be tough for you, Robert. Orsi Marcy.
Orsi Marcy.
Heck of a dentist, and he's now a Landshark fan. Played baseball up at Coastal Carolina, and I want to say hello to him tonight and the family. I know Francis, his wife, is probably mad at me for giving him our feed because he is now hooked on Landshark football.
Nice.
I'd be surprised if he's still watching at this point, but you never know. As North Charleston loses another 8 or so, so now they're going to have 4th down and forever from their own 12-yard line, and they're going to punt out of their own end zone. They got a safety earlier tonight.
Yeah, Will Goss in there. Will Goss is a great defensive lineman.
So what's remarkable about Will being in there? He was playing defense?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, I didn't get
Now,
that.
he's one of our good mean guys. You'll see him like in the playoffs.
Yeah, I said
Sophomore
this.
year, his junior year, a tough game. They'll put him in their D-line. He's good.
I never understood really why they put Will on the offensive line, where, of course, he excels. But I've known him for a long time because he and Dana went all the way up together. As Zay Offord takes this across the 30, 25, Zay may score.
Oh, what a move.
He gets past another guy. Zay is a
look at that block.
Oh, he gets a nice block.
Who
over
was
there.
that?
Steven Seegers.
That's what I like right there.
Steven
A
Seegers.
good, clean block. You didn't decleat him. Good, clean hit.
Yeah, it wasn't a crack back
Yeah.
and caught him on the sneak,
You
right?
could hurt somebody like that.
Yeah, but what I liked about it, guys, was Steven took a pretty hard hit himself, and here he is still giving it 100%.
Special teams is key.
So now we have 59 points. In all likelihood, we're going to outdo Hanahan, who beat these guys by 63. We may hit 70. But the third quarter is going to come to an end mercifully here in just a moment with this 8-minute running clock. Oh, my goodness. I don't even know what to say.
That's not a first down.
So one of the North Charleston players showed some athletic ability there. He really did.
He just hurdled Monroe and what is Jacob out there too? He just
Sign
hurdled
that kid up
there.
for track.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice high jump right over
6'8".
our protection. And I guess, thankfully, the linemen, they never even stood up. They just let him jump over their backs. As Spencer puts this one through there and adds the extra point. So I was talking about Will Gauze and track in his football career since he was a kid in the rec leagues, and he was always just a vicious defensive lineman. I mean, he would be in the backfield as soon as the ball was snapped in that rec football and even as a Moultrie middle school player. So when he came here and they put him on the offensive line and not playing defense, I never did understand that.
I coached him too in 5th grade. I just remember him used to getting so mad and taking his helmet off and throwing it. Talking about in 5th grade.
And Will, of course, he's a scholar as well.
Very smart, good player.
Well respected by everybody. A captain on the team.
Great parents too, by the way. Yeah.
May have been a captain last year as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Mark and Gobby's done a lot for the program over the years. And I'll tell you, as mean as Will is on the field, that kid is one of the most manifold, nice young men I've ever met.
Oh, yeah. Always yes, sir, no, sir.
Yeah, the Gauzes are a great family, and I'll tell you what, Oceanside will never be the same after Will graduates and we lose Gobby.
Well, Gobby doesn't know it yet, but she's going to be retained to help out with a few things here and there.
Gobby may have something to say about it.
Well, she's not going to have a choice.
So we're going to kick this one off as we lead it 60-0. North Charleston just trying to survive this football game.
I didn't know if y'all heard that song, but that's Jack Powell's latest song. That's the marketing campaign. He's had over 9,000 new viewers on this new song that just got released. So we're pretty excited at the Powell House.
That's awesome.
Oh, you got it.
We should have just stopped and listened to that one. I want to hear it again.
Good job, ladies.
North Charleston up to the 22-yard line, and Jack is on Spotify, I know, right?
Yeah, and all over Apple iTunes, and that song is, what's the name of the song? No, I forgot.
Well, that's not good.
Hold on.
That's your own kid.
There's a lot of songs.
I have to imagine you've heard that song once
I
or
listened
twice.
to it over and over and over, yeah.
That song, it sounds like it should be like in one of those fun teen movies.
It's called Blind Love Wasted. Look at that by Jack Powell. He's coming out with a music video. They're flying him out to Arizona next month and doing the whole shoot. So
that's
pretty exciting.
So North Charleston now on offense again. The quarterback pulled down as he got to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, Jacob.
Jacob Ashley is playing defensive line. I think it's time to dial up Dad.
That's too funny.
See what he has to say about that.
That was like a pile drive.
Well, I think he was about ready to step on Rhett. I was watching with the binoculars, and I think in trying to not step on Rhett and kill him, he fell. He pancaked on top of that whole pile. So you got Monroe Freeland. Uh-oh. Referee just brought him out.
Get out of here.
He said, you're an offensive lineman. You can't play defense?
I don't know. I think he said he's too big.
Now you got Monroe at nose guard.
Well, Monroe Freeling in there at nose guard. You know, those guys thought they had it bad with Ben Britton. They may be in real trouble now.
And Monroe's a good defensive guy.
And I got Jason's voicemail. Maybe he'll call back in a second.
Well, you got, think about their defensive line. You got 6'7" Monroe, 6'6" Jacob. Ah, boy.
Put Will Goss in there, and you got a new defensive line.
Well, you know, it's just not like we have a bunch of backup defensive linemen we're not playing. Those guys are on the JV team, and we learned the hard way that you can't play the JV players in a varsity game if they've suited up in a JV game that week. Of course, the Land Sharks, I hate to remind everybody, had to forfeit 5 games 2 seasons ago for that reason. And North Charleston has positive yards on that 3rd down and 10. But it's not going to be enough for a first down, so number 7 is going to have another opportunity to add to his total punting yards for the day. And somebody is coming out of there. Is that Timmy?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want Timmy Castine getting hurt here at this point in this game. He's bent over.
I think he's fine. It's
Looks
just
like
this little area.
he got hit in the midsection in a place nobody wants
Can't really
to get hit.
talk about either.
Hey, Robert, I want to call out number 16, Gabe Sansom. He's a senior, and I love seeing him get some playing time
And you
tonight,
got
guys.
Jacob and Monroe on D-line.
And they're like, man, we should have been playing here all season.
And Carson just stuffs him right in the middle.
Carson Arnold, it's almost unfair at this point. So they did not punt on 4th down, interestingly. So now we're going to have it 1st and 10 going the other way as we have a turnover on downs. And why do you figure they don't punt it there, guys?
I thought maybe they could get a first down here. I just want to see Jacob play quarterback, Monroe play tailback at this point in the game. Be great.
So Edward Reidenbach is in with Tuck Swisher in the backfield. I see Bryce Bennett out.
Bryce is on the left, Billy Johnson over here on the right. And I think it's Cole Strickler on the far right. Tuck has it. It's following a big offensive lineman. Swisher to the 15, the 10,
Get in there, baby.
all the way down to the 6-yard line.
Show that speed all the way from Indiana.
And man, he had a big offensive lineman in front of him, and Tucker obviously knows how to use a block because he was very craftily following that lead and had plenty of running room until they pushed him out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Let's see if that Swisher kid can score a touchdown here as Edward takes it and gives it to him again. Tucker, come on, man. Push that pile back. Gets it all the way down to about the 1.5-yard line.
I like Shane Mahoney bombing in there trying to get that push of the pile.
His teammates wanting Tuck, who does everything right.
He's got good vision for a running back. I know he hadn't had a whole lot of experience yet on varsity, but I like what I see.
He's just a different kind of runner than Vaughn. He's more north-south, and he gets gritty yards.
Tucker takes it, and he's in the end zone.
Touchdown.
Tuck Swisher with the first touchdown, I think, of his high school career on the varsity team.
Nice.
And we got a proud papa up here with us right now. And a couple other proud guys, too, because we like Tuck a lot. He wants to go to West Point, right? If he could have his druthers.
He does. He's
Be a good fit for him.
Pretty straight-laced kid, and discipline, doesn't say a whole lot, just likes to stick his nose down and get things done. So
happy for him.
Yeah, thanks, fellas. Appreciate it. I tell you, it's nice. It's one of his grandfather's birthday today, so that's his 75th birthday. So that's a heck of a present for him. So
yes, indeed.
I've been known to sing happy birthday, but Robert says I can't do it on air.
If you don't do your Marilyn Monroe birthday song to Swish's father,
we'll pass on that one.
I can only do it individually live, so it's kind of embarrassing.
Well, I could play it because I have it on my voicemail from back on August the 2nd.
I get pretty fired up when I do it.
It's scintillating.
Interesting.
That too. Well, we're inside 2 minutes here in the running clock. We're up 67-0, so, nobody really likes a big blowout like this, but if you're going to have one, let's do exceed Hanahan's.
On a serious note, we need to come out and get a good victory like this. I know no one likes it, but you got to get it in there.
Well, I hope Timmy is okay over there on the sideline. He's sitting down on the bench next to Will Gauze as we kicked it off again through the end zone.
You're letting the clock run out now.
And, North Charleston might consider the victory formation here themselves and just bring this thing to a close. How about our sponsors, Swish?
It's I'll tell you our title sponsors, Clear Mortgage. We've got Crawl Space.
ER. When it's muddy, you call us. We'll get all that water out.
Liberty Moves, The Office People, Leslie Evans Realty, the Revere Group. Lots of great sponsors, lots of great families, all pitching in to make this a great program.
So North Charleston is going to go down swinging. Their quarterback rolling out to the right side, being chased over to the sideline. He runs out of bounds with about 30 seconds to go. The clock, of course, will keep going, notwithstanding his exit from the playing field. And I don't think they're going to snap it again. So we're down to 10 seconds to go, and the clock is moving. Robert Brunson here, along with my buddies and sidekicks, Brian Powell and Chris Swisher, and our producer, Scott Kraftchick, who also will get on the air sometime.
Let's give Dion Welch a little love. He's sitting over here to the side as well, running the huddle for us. Thank you, Dion.
Thank you, sir.
That's a thankless and extremely complicated job, as I understand it.
It is.
Dion also does some of the work with the JV broadcast. At any rate, this game's over. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next week in the big game against Hanahan.